So you're thinking about moving to Boca Raton, but you're still trying to figure out exactly where you fit. Maybe you've checked out East Boca, walkable to the beach, close to downtown, charming older neighborhoods, but the prices might feel a little steep, or maybe the homes are dated, or the lots are just too tight. Then there's West Boca. You've got newer homes, bigger lots, sometimes more bang for your buck. But it can feel a little too far out, a little too suburban, and maybe that's not your vibe either. So naturally, your eyes land on Central Boca right in the middle, and you're thinking, okay, this might actually be the sweet spot, but here's the curveball. A huge chunk of Central Boca is made up of country club communities, and hey, that's not a bad thing, but those usually come up with big buy-ins, annual dues, and equity fees that can run well into the six figures. So what if you love the location, but you're not ready to commit to the full-on country club lifestyle? That's exactly why I made this video. Because these neighborhoods I'm about to share with you aren't just random picks. These are the communities I'd personally move my family into if I were looking in Central Boca. So you're not just getting a list, you're getting my actual top recommendations based on living here and working with families every single day. And listen, there are so many great communities in Central Boca that it was honestly tough to narrow it down, but it's always good to have a solid list to start with. So I wanted to give you my top 8 recommendations to help make your search just a little easier. Now, if the country club lifestyle is your thing, that's awesome too. Plenty of our clients love it for golf, the social scene, the security, the resort style vibe. I actually made a whole video breaking down the best country club communities in Boca, what they cost, what they offer, and how to figure out which one might be right for you. You can check that out right over here. And I'll also drop the link down in the description. I'm Jonathan, and my team and I have helped over 1,000 families buy, sell, and relocate all over South Florida. Whether you're moving next week, next month, or even next year, we've got your back. Call, text, email, shoot us a DM, whatever is easiest for you. And don't forget to grab our free relocation guide. It covers pretty much all of South Florida. Plus, we just released our brand new Boca Raton guide. That's all about Boca by itself. You should definitely check out both. I'll link them down in the description below. All right, let's dive in. Here are the top 8 non-country club communities in Central Boca Raton. And just so you know, this list isn't in any particular order. Let's go. All right, first up is Boca Bath Tennis Club, and honestly, this is one of the most sought-after gated communities in Central Boca if you don't want to deal with the whole country club scene. No golf memberships, no equity buy-ins, just gorgeous homes, great amenities, and a super family-friendly vibe. Now, the location here is really hard to beat. You're right off of Military Trail, just north of Glaze, and that means you're literally 5 minutes from I-95, less than 10 minutes from Town Center Mall, and surrounded by restaurants, shops, and schools. It's one of those spots where everything is right at your fingertips, and that's why so many families love it. The community itself sits on about 163 acres of lush tropical landscaping. It's been around since the late 70s and 80s. There are just over 250 custom estate homes here, most on big 1/3 acre to 1/2 acre lots. Homes range anywhere from 2,500 square feet up to over 7,000. Prices start around $1.5 million and can climb to $5 million or more. On average, you're looking at about $3 million, depending on the size, style, and upgrades. As for amenities, this place was clearly designed with active families in mind. You've got 8 hard-shoe tennis courts, a heated Olympic-sized pool, pickleball, basketball, a clubhouse, and plenty of parks and playgrounds. And because it's guard gated 24/7, you've got that added layer of peace of mind. Schools, Boca Bath Tennis is zoned for some of the best. Blue Lake Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River High School, all A-rated and really well loved by the families we work with. But what really sets this neighborhood apart is the community feel. Over 90% of the families live here year-round, so it's not just a seasonal crowd. You'll see kids riding bikes, neighbors chatting in the driveways, families hanging out at weekend barbecues. It has that real neighborhood vibe where everybody knows each other. And the streets wind through about 3.5 miles of tree-lined roads, so the whole place feels peaceful and private, almost like a park. So if you're looking for a gated, centrally located tennis-focused community in Boca without the extra country club fees, Boca Bath Tennis should absolutely be on your list. So that's Boca Bath Tennis, a gated community, packed amenity that really delivers on location and lifestyle. Now let's shift gears to something with a totally different feel, Millpond. If you're coming from up north, this one might instantly feel like home. Millpond is one of the most charming, family-oriented neighborhoods in Central Boca. The streets are shaded by big oak canopies. You've got quiet cul-de-sacs, little ponds and parks sprinkled throughout. It honestly feels like something out of a postcard. A lot of people who relocate here from the Northeast or Midwest say it reminds them of the neighborhoods they grew up in. It's calm, shaded, peaceful. That's a big reason it's so popular with families moving down here. And here's the cool part. Millpond isn't gated and there's no country club buy-in. It's just a tight-knit, well-kept neighborhood with just over 300 single-family homes. Most were built in the late 70s and early 80s. They range from about 2,000 to 3,500 square feet with a mix of ranch and two-story layouts. The homes themselves vary in style, but what you'll notice right away is the pride of ownership. A lot of them have been updated with modern kitchens, impact glass, new roofs, and resort-style backyards. Think pools, big patios, outdoor kitchens. Perfect for entertaining or just relaxing on a Sunday afternoon. The HOA is really reasonable too, around $200 a month, and it covers things like tennis courts, basketball, walking paths, and playgrounds that keep the community connected. Location-wise, you're right off of St. Andrews Boulevard and Potomac Road. That means you're literally minutes from Town Center Mall, Meisner Park, grocery stores, and I-95 and the Turnpike. So it's super central, but once you pull into the neighborhood, it feels like a quiet little escape from the hustle. As for prices, homes usually start around $900,000 and can climb up to about $1.8 million, especially if you're looking at something fully updated or on one of the pond lots. Schools are another big plus here. You're zoned for Blue Lake Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River High School, like the first community. They're all A-rated, and if you're leaning towards private schools, you've also got some of the best options in South Florida nearby: St. Andrews, Pinecrest, Grandview Prep. So if you're looking for a peaceful, well-established community with real charm and none of the country club obligations, Millpond is definitely one to check out. If you're looking for an upscale Central Boca neighborhood that gives you space, character, and freedom, Colonnade might be your perfect match. This community sits between Jog Road and St. Andrews Boulevard, just south of Yamato Road. It's non-gated, it's custom, and it has a strong sense of neighborhood pride without all the rigid rules that you sometimes find elsewhere. It was developed in the 1980s and early 90s in 3 phases: Glen Oaks, Boca Tierra, and Colonnade. And today you'll find around 250 custom-built homes tucked along wide, tree-lined streets. The first thing you'll notice driving through is the mature trees and the landscaping. The streets feel shaded, peaceful, and private. It has that classic Boca look, the kind of neighborhood that's only gotten better with time. Homes here are single family and range from about 2,500 to over 4,000 square feet. A lot of them have been updated over the years with features like wood cabinetry, marble floors, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, walk-in closets, vaulted ceilings, and private fenced-in yards with heated pools, even though you don't really need that in Florida. It's the type of place that gives you flexibility, whether you want to renovate and make it your own or move right into something already turnkey. Prices usually start in the high 900s and can go up to around $2 million, especially if you're looking at a fully renovated home on a larger lot. Right in the center of the neighborhood is Boca Tierra Park, and it's kind of a hidden gem. You've got tennis courts, basketball, a playground, and a big open field where kids and dogs can run around. It's one of those perks residents really love having inside the community. And the HOA here, super relaxed. It's about $100 a month. That just covers the upkeep of the park and the common areas. That's it. No heavy restrictions, no weird rules, just a well-kept community that gives you space to live your way. Colonnade is zoned for Blue Lake Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River High School as well. Again, all A-rated, really great schools. And if you're leaning towards private schools, you're literally down the street. You have Pinecrest, St. Andrews, you have Boca Christian, you have Grandview Prep. So you have some of the best schools in the region. And of course, the location really seals the deal. You're just minutes from Town Center Mall, Lynn University, Meisner Park, and I-95. So convenience-wise, Colonnade checks all the boxes. If you want a custom single-family home in a quiet park-like setting with a real sense of neighborhood, a central location, and no country club fees, Colonnade absolutely deserves a look. If you're looking for new construction, luxury finishes, and that full resort style vibe, all without the country club membership, Royal Palm Polo should definitely be on your radar. This is a gated luxury community by Toll Brothers. It sits just north of Clintmore Road on Jog, right along what locals call Millionaires Row. That stretch is basically a showcase of Boca's most exclusive gated communities, and Royal Palm Polo fits right in. Fun fact, the land it's built on used to be the historic polo grounds, and now it's been transformed into one of the newest and most luxurious luxurious single-family home communities in Central Boca. It's also right next to Azura, another Toll Brothers community. So you're literally surrounded by some of the most elite addresses in the area. The homes here are absolute showstoppers, anywhere from 4,500 to over 7,000 square feet. Many sit on oversized lots with professional landscaping. You've got 1- and 2-story layouts, gourmet kitchens with Wolf and Sub-Zero appliances, vaulted ceilings, marble flooring, impact windows, walk-in closets, even elevators in some models, and of course those backyard setups, custom pools, summer kitchens, 3- and 4-car garages, pergolas. Everything about these homes scream luxury. Prices start around $2.5 million and can go well over $5 million, especially if you're looking at larger lots or homes with top-tier upgrades. But what really makes Royal Palm Polo stand out is the lifestyle. The community gives you that private country club feel without the buy-ins or equity fees. You've got a state-of-the-art clubhouse, a full fitness center, a resort-style pool and spa, lighted tennis courts, pickleball, and a calendar full of social events for residents. Schools are another big plus here. You're zoned for Calusa Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River High School, all A-rated as well. And you're also right down the street from Murakami Park Elementary, which is a highly regarded magnet school with a strong math, science, and technology program. And if private schools are on your radar, you're just minutes away from Pinecrest and St. Andrews, two of the top private schools in all of South Florida. On top of that, you're a quick drive to Delray Marketplace, Town Center Mall, Meisner Park, golf courses, fine dining, and of course, Boca's beaches. So if you want brand new gated estate living with resort-style amenities, top-tier schools, and zero country club buy-in, Royal Palm Polo is a community that checks off every single box. If you're looking for a classic Boca neighborhood with character, space, and a prime location, and you don't want to deal with a country club commitment, New Floresta is definitely one to check out. This community is tucked away just north of Glades Road off of St. Andrews Boulevard, right in the heart of Central Boca. You're 5 minutes from Town Center Mall, about 10 minutes from Meisner Park, and just a short drive to some of Boca's best parks, schools, golf courses, and beaches. It's quiet, it's central, and it's super convenient all at the same time. New Floresta was developed in the 1980s and early 90s, and what really makes it stand out is the architectural variety. A lot of the original homes were Mediterranean inspired with a mix of 1- and 2-story layouts on quarter to half-acre lots, but over the last several years, you've seen the community evolve. Some homes are being completely rebuilt in a modern contemporary style. Others have gone through full renovations, giving that classic Mediterranean look a fresh, updated twist. Step inside and you'll find exactly what today's buyers are after: gourmet kitchens, vaulted ceilings, oversized bedrooms, updated flooring, French doors, screened-in patios, sun decks, private pools, and plenty of space to entertain. Many homes even have 3-car garages and beautifully landscaped yards, which give the whole neighborhood a polished, upscale feel. Prices usually start around $1.2 million and can go up to about $2 million. It really depends on lot size, renovations, and location within the community. Another perk is the low HOA. It covers cable and maintenance of the common areas, and that's about it. There's no heavy-handed rule book here, which gives residents the freedom to enjoy their homes without micromanagement. And make no mistake, this is a high-demand neighborhood. When a home hits the market, it rarely sticks around. We've seen buyers so set on living here that they'll go door to door asking if anyone's willing to sell off market. That says a lot about how loved this community is. For schools, you're zoned for Blue Lake Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River High, all A-rated. And for private schools, again, you're literally across the street from Pinecrest, and St. Andrews is right down the street. So the entire St. Andrews corridor is one of the safest and most desirable places to live, not just in Boca, but nationwide. So if you're looking for a non-gated, custom home community with real character, generous space, and long-term value, New Floresta should definitely be on your radar. Let's talk about a community that isn't trying to be flashy. It's just solid, beautiful, and super livable. That's Timbercreek. Now, it's not exactly under the radar. It's actually one of the most loved neighborhoods in Central Boca, but it does fly a little bit below the hype of some of the newer or ultra-luxury developments, and honestly, that's part of its charm. That's why so many people are drawn to it. Location-wise, Timbercreek is tucked just east of St. Andrews Boulevard, right in between Glades and Yamato. You can hop on I-95, be at Town Center Mall in about 5 minutes, or get to the beach without needing to pack snacks for the ride. And here's something worth pointing out. Timbercreek is literally right across the street from Millpond, and the two feel really similar. Both have that up north vibe with older oak trees, brick facades, and shaded streets. It's the kind of place that gives you that nostalgic neighborhood feel. And the homes themselves aren't cookie cutter. These are houses with personality, built in the late 70s and early 80s, most sitting on a quarter-acre lots and lean towards that classic ranch-style look. Over time, a lot have been updated with modern interiors, open concept layouts, and stylish outdoor spaces. Some even sit on the lake with private pools and backyards that feel like mini resorts. Prices typically range from the low 900s up to around 1.5 million, depending on size, style, and updates. But what you're really buying into here is the neighborhood itself. The vibe is relaxed, but it's tight-knit. You'll see people walking dogs, kids playing in the cul-de-sacs, neighbors chatting under those massive oak trees. It has that old-school Boca feel that people really love, and you don't have to worry about overbearing rules or fees. Now, the HOA is super mellow. It's about $100 a month, and it mainly goes towards keeping the lakes, parks, and the green spaces in good shape. There's no drama, there's no heavy restrictions. Schools are another plus. Timbercreek is zoned for some of the best schools as well. You have Blue Lake Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River, just like a lot of these other communities. And you're also just minutes from top private schools, again, like St. Andrews and Pinecrest and Grandview Prep and Donna Klein Jewish Academy and so forth and so on. Families really value that flexibility. And at the end of the day, Timbercreek is one of those neighborhoods where people plant roots and they stay for years, not because it's trendy, not because it's flashy, but because it works. It's comfortable, it's convenient, and it's real. And in Boca, that's worth its weight in gold. Seasons is one of the premier gated communities in Central Boca. It's right on Jog and Clintmore Road, diagonal across from Royal Palm Polo, which I had mentioned earlier. This whole stretch is what locals call Millionaire's Row. It's just a great area to live, and for good reason. It's lined with some of the most luxurious communities in all of Boca, and Seasons definitely holds its own. The neighborhood sits on about 80 acres of beautifully landscaped property. There are around 250 custom homes built in the late 80s and early 90s. Architecturally, it's a nice mix. You'll see Tuscan-inspired estates alongside transitional styles that have been modernized over time, so the community feels elegant without looking cookie cutter. Homes in Seasons range from about 3,000 to almost 7,000 square feet. Layouts usually include 3 to 6 bedrooms, private pools, soaring ceilings, and open floor plans. And inside, you'll find all of the high-end finishes that you'd expect. You have gourmet kitchens, oversized primary suites, resort-style outdoor living spaces. Some homes have been completely rebuilt, taken down to the studs, and given a sleek, modern design, but it's just not about the homes. The amenities here take Seasons to another level. There's a full tennis court with 8 hard-shoe courts and a pro shop, a heated pool and spa, basketball and volleyball courts, a fitness center, a clubhouse that keeps the community social with events throughout the year. Add in the 24-hour man gate, and you've got a place that's family-friendly, it's active, and it's very secure. And for schools, you're zoned for Calusa Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River High School. They're all A-rated, and you're also close to St. Andrews and Pinecrest, like the other neighborhoods, which are 2 of the top private schools in the area. As for pricing, homes here usually start around $2 million, and they can climb up to $4 million or more, especially if you're looking at a renovated home on a premium lot. So if you're looking for a prestigious established gated community in the heart of Central Boca with that polished country club feel, but without the equity buy-in, Seasons is definitely one to keep on your list. Last and on the list, but definitely not least, it's one of Central Boca's best neighborhoods, Estancia. It's a gated, non-country club community that's just south of Glades Road, just east of the Turnpike. It's actually made up of 3 sections, Estancia East, Estancia South, and Estancia West. Each has its own appeal, but they all share that same strong sense of community in an unbeatable location. From here, you're minutes to Town Center Mall, 15 minutes to Meisner Park, and Boca's top private schools like St. Andrews and Pinecrest. You've also got easy access to both I-95 and the Turnpike, which makes getting around super convenient. Most of the homes were built between the late 70s and early 90s, and today you'll find a real mix. Some still carry that original charm. Others have been fully updated, and some have even been completely rebuilt into modern estates. We're talking vaulted ceilings, resort-style backyards, full smart home setups, and stunning kitchens with high-end finishes. And one of the things that I personally love about Estancia is that a lot of the homes are single-story wide and spread out. It gives the neighborhood a really open space spacious feel you don't always find in Boca. The lot sizes are generous too, usually between a quarter and a half an acre. You combine that with wide streets, mature trees, and a laid-back atmosphere, and you could see why so many families are drawn to this community. It's guard-gated 24/7. It has tennis courts, a playground, and a low-key HOA that doesn't get in your business. That's a big plus for a lot of homeowners. And for schools, you're zoned for Blue Lake Elementary, Omni Middle, and Spanish River High. And of course, you're also right around the corner from some of Boca's best private schools. So pricing typically starts around 1.2 million and can go over 3 million for larger or fully renovated homes, especially in Estancia West. So if you've been searching for a central, gated non-country club community with space, security, and serious long-term potential, Estancia should absolutely be on your radar. All right, so there you have it. 8 of the best non-country club communities in Central Boca Raton, and these aren't just random picks. These are the neighborhoods that I would personally move my family into if I were looking in Central Boca. If you want to learn more about Central Boca, I actually made a full video that's only about Central Boca. You can check that out right here. We've also made videos about East Boca and West Boca and pros and cons of Boca and Boca City guides, and I'll put all the links in the description below. Honestly, these are the most robust guides that you will find on YouTube about Boca Raton. And don't forget, we just released our brand new Boca Raton guide that's free to download. You'll find that down in the description as well. Or you could just scan the QR code on the screen right now. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments which of these neighborhoods is your favorite. If you've lived in any of them, share your experience, or based on this video, which one do you think you'd move to? And of course, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to turn on the notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I'm Jonathan. This is Live South Florida, and I'll see you in the next video.